It probably seems like silly to like go down this without a helmet or like any protective gear, but like I feel like that's kind of part of the fun of it, is the risk.
Give me danger, little stranger, and I'll give you a piece. Give me danger, little stranger, and I'll feel your disease. There's nothing in my dreams, just some ugly memories.
Yeah. All right, want me to test it? I call it concrete surfing. Basically, when I'm going down these big hills, I like to swerve and have this motion as if I'm riding a wave. And I don't surf, so I don't know surf style at all. But the way in which I swerve and sort of keep balance, I notice like this almost feels as if I'm surfing on a road instead of a wave. I remember when I was a sophomore at LC, I was walking around and I saw that the whole campus is on this giant hill and that there's a way in which you can ride the whole school grounds in one go. And I said to myself, wait a minute, there's something to this. I would just ride the hills at LC all the time until I just got very, very comfortable with them. It almost was like an obsession. It just became second nature to me. It became muscle memory. I've definitely fallen a few times, sure, and like, you know, I have the wounds to like show for it, you know? But riding a hill, I have always wanted that to be a more solitary thing for me because it's very personal. It's always just a good time skating here because it almost feels, it's not guaranteed, but it feels like guaranteed safety because I'm so comfortable with it. And also Mount Tabor. Renz? I had no idea who Renz was before this documentary class because we're 2 years apart.
I sat next to him in class, just sort of, I came in late on the first day, I think, of in-person, and he's wearing a King Gizzard shirt. King Gizzard's my favorite band, so immediately struck up some conversation.
I remember we would like turn to each other sometimes and like make comments about the movies and just be like, oh yeah, like that was really interesting, or I'd mention certain bands and he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm really into that, like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard or Freddie Gibbs, and we just kind of went off that.
Joe told me he had this idea of doing downhill skateboarding at Tabor, and he mentioned, like, I don't know, you know, he said, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I might just do the paper, you know, I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. And I said, you know, that sounds really interesting, you know, with both of us working on it, we might be able to get it done.
I didn't hesitate. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Starting off was definitely a little shaky. It was the first time I had skated in, you know, years, probably.
Fuck me. Part of me was like, oh my God, yeah, I really hope he doesn't like eat shit and hurt himself really badly.
Especially having to hold the camera at the same time and worry about the framing and, you know, looking down at the camera and then looking back up to see where I was going.
I would look back a lot and be like, okay, like let me make sure Renz is still back there. And if I saw that he wasn't back there, I would get off my board and go back and just make sure he was okay.
But yeah, I feel like, you know, it all came back to me eventually.
When I'm riding, I don't think about anything. I think about things all the time, all day, every day. I'm a very anxious person, but when I'm riding, my mind goes completely blank, and it's a very good feeling.
I think what Joe sort of brought to my attention is that element of it that when you're going down a hill, your mind just sort of goes blank and it's just you and the road and the board, and that's part of it that sort of been illuminated for me and is pretty beautiful. I still don't think I'm very good at skating.
It was really fun yesterday to film the three of us, Like, I don't usually do that. Like I said, I usually skate by myself, and that was a good time. That I'll hold as honestly a pretty fun memory these last couple weeks of school.